Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, continuing on with our version 2.6.0 update, talking about the 7-star banners that they gave us to correspond with the release of 7-star medals. So, without further ado, we have 3 new banners that we need to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump right into the details. So as you can see, we got 3 new banners here, which correspond to the current PvP, where we have a reverse red HD Axel banner, an upright blue illustrated Aqua A banner, and then an upright green illustrated Ventus banner. These obviously correspond to Dark Gnaw and 3 Wishes and Sleeping Lion, respectively. So let's go ahead and hop into the details. You get a 7-star medal every time you draw from any of these banners. Now that's really good. You can see it right there. 7-star times 1. That's really good because it gives people a feel for 7-star medals without needing to pull a lot. So instead of making it where you got the 7-star medal on the 5th pull, you get 1 instantly. There are a few things I want to talk about with what that number 1, 7-star medal is going to be. But the fact that you get it, the fact that it lets people kind of get a feel for what 7-star medals are without having to spend too many jewels is honestly really nice. That they just give us this opportunity to test 7-star medals. Granted, it is at the cost of 3,000 jewels if you're unable to rank high enough in PvP, but regardless, it is still a nice thought that we get a 7-star medal every single time, which becomes important for things later like sub slots. You get a 7-star version of HD Axel, Illustrated Aqua A, or Illustrated Ventus based on which of the banners you pull from. So I advise this right now, and I hope it's a little bit intuitive that if you want HD Axel, you'll pull 5 times from the HD Axel banner and not something like 2 times from HD Axel and then 1 time from Illustrated Aqua, 1 time from Illustrated Ventus, and then you change your mind and then you just do the third pull on the HD Axel. That's not how the math works. You got to do all 5 on the same one in order to put it towards that counter. So if you want HD Axel, again, 5 times from the HD Axel banner. Don't separate it amongst the 3 banners. So the new top tier of rarity is here. In comparison to 6-star medals, 7-star medals can have a maximum strength exceeding 10,000 and have much larger damage multipliers, making them more powerful than ever before, which is absolutely true. Also, as you can only set 7-star medals in Keyblade subslots, you're going to want to expand your collection fast, which is somewhat true. So again, you're going to receive a 7-star medal every time you draw from any of these banners. And this is a nice thing. The 7-star medal you receive comes with its special attack bonus unlocked, and it's also maxed out. So that means you don't need to throw Mickey and Brooms on there. You don't need to throw Magic Mirrors on there. You don't need to attempt to level up a bunch of the same medal up until 7 stars in order to gilt that thing. It comes pre-gilted and it comes max gilted, which is super nice and super convenient for a lot of people. We talked about the Mercy already, kind of like a wishy-washy extra bonus, but still a nice bonus altogether, is that as an added bonus, you will receive 1 Sid 5 medal every single time you draw from any of these banners. We will talk about 7-star medals in a different video and subslots in a different video, so hang on to your hats for that one. Alright, so these banners will go until May 31st, which is approximately 2-3 days away. I know I'm kind of late to the race, but I was super busy this weekend, so I hope you guys can understand that one. And again, they talk about the Mercy as if you didn't hear it enough. This is the 3rd time we're getting it in the same notice, as just to make sure you know. And then we get it again, the guaranteed 1 7-star, and then it comes automatically with the max gilt and the max gilt. Yeah, no, just max gilt. But this is another part of it. You're guaranteed to receive at least one of the following 6-star medals listed below. So again, your want to pull from a banner should come from its guarantees. So far, we're guaranteeing ourselves a 7-star medal, we are guaranteeing ourselves a Sid 5, and then here's another guarantee for pulling from these banners. You're going to get either Illustrated Kairi EX, Illustrated Xion EX, HD Zack, Yuna and Riku in Pain, The World Ends With You R2, HD Pete, HD Zexion, or HD Larxene. Now, in my personal opinion, there are only 4 medals that I'd want to pull from this tiny limited pool, with obviously Illustrated Kairi EX and Illustrated Xion EX being 2 of them, and the other 2 being HD Zack, because HD Zack offers upright defense down, which is a very scarce resource as of right now. If you didn't get Cloud EX Plus, if you didn't get Illustrated Kingdom Hearts Riku, if you didn't get What's the last one? Key Art 16 Plus. You need some upright defense down. That is where the game is moving in this direction, where you need these upright and reverse defense downs, and HC Zac offers upright defense down. So that's why I think HC Zac is a solid choice for pulling from this banner. HC Zexion is a very good medal because in PvP it becomes very, very important for you to be able to manage your defense, especially your general defense and your enemy's general attack. Those become very, very important, and while HC Zexion doesn't raise your general defense, he does lower your enemy's general attack. And it also increases your PSM defense, which is, I didn't mention it earlier, but it's also important to, again, keep your defenses up in PvP. The Yuna, Riku, and Pain and The World Ends With You are two. They're pretty much mirror copies. One is power, one is magic. And they're not particularly useful in comparison to what's out right now. They are I believe they're tier 7 medals, and they are still useful, but they're just not as useful as they were back in the day, and they're not as useful as the other 4 medals, in my opinion, especially since you need to be able to collect Lux in order to power them up. So they become the most useful during Union Cross and raid bosses, and that's pretty much where they cap off, in my opinion. HC Pete is a solid medal to have, but unfortunately, with stained glass medals being able to increase your reverse strength all the way to 7 instantly at the beginning, it becomes less relevant to have something that increases it later down the line. HC Larxene is the only tier 6 medal in this entire pool, and unfortunately tier 6s are definitely starting to fall off to the wayside when it comes to tier 7s, tier 8s, especially with this 7-star mechanic, where it is possible for tier 4s to now outclass tier 6s. Going on with our guarantees, the remaining 8-star medals will be 5-star or higher rarity, so keep that in mind. It's important to know that you could get things more than 5 stars. You can get multiple premiums. You could get multiple 7 stars. So keep that in mind, that is a potential draw that you can get. And this is kind of strange. You can get a boosted copy of any of the 7-star medals that are tier 4. So these are pretty much all the tier 4s that they've released up to date, and they will come with 1,000 more base strength, not defense though. So keep that in mind. It's just the strength that is going to go up. The 6-star medals that can come boosted are Illustrated Kairi X, Illustrated Shioni X, HC Zac, Yuna, Riku, Pain, The World Ends With You R2, HD Pete, HD Zexion, and HD Larxene, which will come with 1,000 more strength and defense. Whew, that was a lot of words. But yeah, you can get the premiums boosted, and then you can get the tier 6-ish. Just the HD Larxene is tier 6, and plus as boosted with 1,000 strength and defense boosted, and you can get any of the tier 4s with 1,000 more strength on it. Obviously, as it's just been for the past 2 years, the boosted stats will show in yellow versus the standard white text that shows a medal's strength and defense. Let's see. Boosted medal can have its special attack strengthened by fusing the normal version of the same medal onto it. That is always a good thing, because then you can use non-boosted copies to help your boosted copies. However, make sure you don't fuse the boosted version onto a normal version, or else you'll lose the status boost. That is important to know, because I knew someone who did it and then lost their boosted copy of a copy art, and that was not a good feel. Alright, so let's talk just briefly about the featured medals. So really what makes these medals shine is that the tier 4s and higher will come with this new ability to raise reverse strength or upright strength based on the medal's orientation. So for example, HC Axel is a reverse red medal, meaning he will increase your reverse strength. Illustrated Aqua A and Illustrated Ventus are upright medals, so they will increase your upright strength. Keep in mind though that this buff only comes with tier 4 or higher. It does not apply if you pull a 7-star tier 1, a 7-star tier 2, or a 7-star tier 3. So just keep that in mind, that this is not a mechanic for all 7-star medals. It is a mechanic for only tier 4 and higher 7-star medals. Let's see here. What else do I want to talk about? We talked about these medals really quickly, and I think that's the end of the notice. So let's do some interpreting. And actually, one part I wanted to add to the notice is that, okay, so it has to do with this part. You're guaranteed the 7-star medal with its special attack bonus unlocked and its maximum special attack bonus too. So if you don't have the medal unlocked right now, you will instantly get +6 Nova. Let me see if I could pull up the picture I have of the Nova being unlocked. So I'm gonna have to go in my computer real quick. Sorry everyone for making this a little bit longer than it needs to be. Let's see here. Let's go here. And then let's pull up this Nova unlock. If I could find it. Okay. So let's shrink this down to a manageable size. Why did that not work? Hang on just a second. I'm going to fix this up right now. Right now. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So I didn't have Simba's special attack bonus unlocked all the way. I didn't have it maxed out. So when I got him as a 7-star, and because it became max gilted, I instantly got the Nova. So you get it on the pull screen that it unlocks. So you get the Nova for unlocking the bonus, and you also get the Nova for maxing it out. So that's +6 instantly. Let's go ahead and move this back down. Alright, so that is one thing to note. When you get that 7-star medal, again, you're getting +6 Nova if you didn't already have the medal gilted or max gilted. You're going to get both of them at the same time. What else do I want to talk about with this banner? Okay, so we go into what is arguably still the most important part of any banner, is the draw odds. Now, one thing to note right here is that I am glad they took the 5% for pulling an additional 7-star out of the 5-star rarity pull. So instead of taking it away from the 6, they took it away from the 5-star, which is nice because that means your chances of getting an additional premium are still every 1 in 10 medals, which is really solid. So I'm glad they took it away from things you don't want and added it to something you did want without taking away from what you already wanted. Let's go down here to the additional premium you can get. So let's say you got into that extra premium and you wanted Illustrated Kyrie EX or Illustrated Xion EX. Let's go ahead and head down to that area where it talks about that. These got really long ever since they added the 7-star thing because they had to pretty much add statistics for every 7-star they added in there. Okay, here we go. So the chance of one additional premium, so let's say you hit that 10% where you got an additional premium and you wanted, again, Illustrated Kyrie EX or Illustrated Xion EX, you have a 1.2% chance of that being, that additional premium being one of those two. So that's still pretty low. That is not as high as I would have liked to have seen it. And then when we move on to the guaranteed 6-star that you're going to get, there is still only like a 1% chance of that guaranteed 6-star being Illustrated Kyrie EX or being Illustrated Xion EX. One thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is that the special attack boost is going to come with no orbs. It is an orbless medal, meaning that you have to pretty much start from 0 and then level it up, or give it Mickey and Brooms, or just use it as a trait medal for something that's already gilted. So just keep in mind that this is not a good banner to pull from if you're trying to gilt things and get them stronger without previously owning them. Alright, so that is our quick talk about Kyrie EX or Xion EX. Now, I'm not going to go into every single detail about this. I just want you to just hope that I am giving you right information, because it's a lot of, not a lot of math, but more math than I'd like to do. Alright, so when it comes to pulling for a certain tier, so let's say you wanted a tier 4 7-star, your chances of that are going to be 1 out of 10. And that comes from the idea that every 4-star guaranteed, sorry, not every 4-star guaranteed. Let's move down here to our guaranteed 7-star, which is what I meant to say. So those are the 6-star medals. Alright, that is the 5-star medals. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's scroll on up. So this is going to be the rates for the guaranteed 7-star, and there is a 0.41309% chance of you getting that specific tier 4. Now, there are 24 tier 4s in the pool right now, and then when you crunch out the math, you take that 0.41309 times 24, you get pretty much a 1 out of 10 chance in your guaranteed 7-star being a tier 4 medal. Moving down the line to tier 3s, it's kind of unusual because the odds of you getting a tier 3 are actually lower than you getting the odds of any particular tier 4. So that's kind of nice, but then I'm going to tell you this part, and then it's not going to sound as good. There are 83 tier 3s in the entire game. So when you take this 0.28165% chance, multiply it times 83, that becomes a 1 out of 4 chance that you're going to be pulling into a tier 3 7-star medal from your guaranteed 7-star. Moving down the line, we hop into tier 2s, which I believe have a higher percent than either any individual tier 4 or tier 3. Alright, so the odd of you pulling a specific tier 2 is going to be 1.05995%. When you multiply that times the 47 tier 2s that are in the pool, that is 1 out of 2 are going to get a tier 2 7-star medal. And then 1-star medals, I'm sorry, not 1-star, tier 1 medals, oddly enough, have the same percentage as tier 2 medals. So with 15 tier 1s in the game, that is a 1 out of 6 chance of your 7-star medal being a tier 1. So running through the list again, it is 1 out of 10 chance in it being a tier 4, 1 out of 4 chance in it being a tier 3, 1 out of 2 chance in it being a tier 2, and then 1 out of 6 chance of it being a tier 1. So keep that in mind as you're pulling. You know, your odds of getting a tier 4 as your guaranteed 7-star is a 10% chance. So that's just another percentage that you need to keep in mind when you're pulling, is that it's not very high. Let's see here. All right, so what are my thoughts on this banner? Even though I did pull from it, I don't think it's a smart idea to pull from this. I think if you're like a super whale, then I would probably pull for it, because those 7-stars become very important for subslots, which kind of unbalance Keyblades, which used to be super balanced as a concept before. But I wouldn't pull from this banner if you don't need to. So there's just a lot that this banner is lacking that other banners have going for them. The 6-star that you're going to get is not going to come orbed, which kind of stinks. The Kyrie EX and the Illustrated Xion EX rates are pretty low when you could think about getting them within 5 draws. I know that's like 15k jewels, but you guarantee it 100%, versus this time where there's pretty much like a 1% chance of you getting it every single time you pull. So that's not very good in my opinion. I feel like they're going to release better 7-star medals down the line. I know not like immediately, but the fact that there are going to be better 7-star medals, tier 5s, tier 6s, tier 7s, tier 8s, means that this is probably a banner you can skip if you don't really need it right now. I wouldn't pull if you're pulling for PvP, because it could end up not in your favor at all, especially if next month's Keyblade doesn't correspond with the 7-star that you got right now. So I personally wouldn't pull from this banner if I didn't need to. I really wanted to test out this new 7-star mechanic so that I can give the YouTube audience kind of a better feel on what 7-star medals are like. But there is one part that I actually missed when I was talking about my update. So long story short, I wouldn't pull from this banner if you don't need to. 3,000 jewels is kind of a lot for potentially getting like a tier 1 7-star, which does more damage than its original version. But let me show you what a tier 1 7-star looks like. It looks like that. So it's got a higher multiplier, and it's got like higher strength, but it's just like still not too impressive when you think of the fact that someone in about 1 or 2 months is going to be running rampant with a 7-star tier 8. So it's like, you could probably save your jewels for a better investment, like the goofy avatar board that is going to go away tonight. But the one part that I missed is that if you pull a 7-star tier 4 or higher, I guess just 7-star tier 4 since that's all we've got right now, if you pull that, it automatically comes with an attack boost max skill. So it can either come with attack boost 6 max, or from what I've seen, it can also come with attack boost 5 max gauge 0. So that's really important to know, that if you pull a tier 4, it's going to come with a max skill on it, which is super sweet. Now, I know I didn't do the pulls with everyone, but I'm going to go ahead and show you them because they are very educational, in my opinion. Alright, so let's look at our first pull. So I did the first pull thinking like, alright, I want to test out tier 7s, and why don't we do a pull? So this is what I got. So my 7-star was Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku, and I got HD Zexion, which was good. I got an additional premium illustrated King Mickey, which was nice. And if you haven't seen the video before where I was talking about trading 7-star medals, it's nice because I get to keep them separate for now until I have a 7-star illustrated Black Coat King Mickey, and then I can give it a trade. So that was nice to get an additional premium like that, but I wasn't super thrilled about the Riku. I was hoping I could get something better. So I was like, you know what? Let's try our luck again. And when we tried our luck again, we got this. And so I was like, oh no, I got Yuna and Riku in pain. That was like the one I didn't want. It's not HD Larxene, but I was like, oh no, this could have worked out better for me, but it did not. And then that's when I got the tier 1 7-star pain. I was like, no, it's a tier 1. Why? So me in my rage pulled another time. And so for my third pull, I got this. So let's go ahead and scroll this up. I got this and I was like, oh snap, multiple premiums. That is super sick. That is super nice. But our tier 7 was a Bambi, or not tier 7, our 7-star was a Bambi, and I was like, no, that doesn't even matter because Bambi's not an attacking medal. If Bambi is an attack medal, it's attack that's spelled A-T-A-C-C, not A-T... Yeah, no, like the meme version of the word attack, and I was like, no. But I did get additional premiums, so I did get the HD Ventus, which is nice. I did get the illustrated Soren Pals, which is awesome, because if I get that medal as a 7-star, then I can super buff it with that and give it a trait. But then I got Yuna and Riku in pain again. I was like, no, I don't want this. Why couldn't I get like another copy of HD Zexion or HD Zack? Why, game? Why? So at this point in my head, I was like, you're already 3 pulls in. You gotta keep going. So as we kept going, we pulled into our 4th one, which looks like this. And let's go ahead and scroll up here. And then I was like, game, you're trolling me. 3 Yuna and Riku in pains. You are trolling me hardcore. Hardcore. And then we got Simba. And I was like, oh, come on. I could have saved 3,000 jewels if I got tier 4 earlier. And then we pulled into the last one because we were like, you can't go 4 out of 5 pulls in. You just got to go all the way. And then we pulled into this and I was like, oh snap, we got 2 tier 4 7-stars. That was super good as our final pull. I was super happy. And then we got an HC Pete, just kind of like as an added bonus. But yo, I got 2 tier 4 7-star medals in the same pool. It was super hype. So that is pretty much like the walkthrough of my mentality as I was pulling. Hopefully it was like kind of doing it like real life minus the actual anticipation of actually watching like the jewels go up and then pressing OK. But that was my stream of pulls. And that is my explanation of the 7-star banner. Again, I don't think it's worth pulling. I personally pulled because I had the jewels and because I wanted to test these 7-star medals so that I can honestly get back to everyone and kind of tell you what my thoughts are on these 7-star medals. So that is going to be a different video talking about 7-star medals in comparison to like their 6-star versions. But for now, this is the talk about the 7-star banners, what I think about them, what they guarantee, and your odds of getting something that is relatively useful to you. So I'll get back to everyone on the 7-star medals. Do I think they're super useful? As of right now, I'm going to say yes, but my mindset can change as time goes on. So if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, remember to drop them down in the comments below and I would be happy to answer them. And as always, everyone, until the next video, take it easy.